In this edition of Mark Godfrey Selects, we hear conservation photographer Tim Laman tell us about his remarkable career and his recent 8-year project photographing the birds of paradise.
Major goal for the Birds of Paradise project of photographing all 39 species in the wild for the first time. And it took us a total of 8 years, over which we spent 18 months in the field. Actually, the project isn't really done in the sense that we not only did we find that there are still many interesting behaviors that we didn't succeed in documenting. There are several sort of mysteries of birds of paradise that we've heard have limited information about in certain mountain ranges. We want to go and check out, learn more about these poorly known species that we've just barely photographed a little bit. And also there's the issue of conservation of the birds of paradise, which we think this is just sort of the beginning. Our sort of completing the initial coverage of them gives us an opportunity to use the birds of paradise to promote more awareness about the rainforest in New Guinea and the sort of broader conservation issues there. I think my favorite bird of paradise image is the shot I got of the greater bird of paradise at sunrise up in the canopy, where I had my blind in an adjacent tree, and I spent several days shooting from there and getting really nice images of the birds on their display branches. And all of a sudden the sun popped out from behind the cloud, lit up the mist in the canopy, and I got that dream shot that I'd been imagining for so long.
For conservation photographer and scientist Tim Laman, that dream shot is just one of many in an extraordinary career. Using ropes to climb giant trees or scuba gear to explore coral reefs, Tim goes to great lengths in the pursuit of his subjects for both science and spectacular pictures. Tim recently took a break from his travels to tell us about his remarkable career.
Well, I developed an interest in sort of nature and the outdoors at an early age. I grew up in Japan, and actually my family, we lived, fairly close to the ocean. We went to the mountains every summer. So I spent a lot of time outdoors, and I really sort of developed an interest in, I think I would call it, sort of exploring nature, or exploring the natural world. And I also started developing an interest in photography at the same time. Ended up going to graduate school and developing an interest in tropical biology, doing my PhD research in the rainforest in Borneo. I've been to, many parts of the world. I've had the great privilege of working in tropical rainforests on all the continents, traveling to the Antarctica and everything. It's hard to think of a favorite place. Comes to mind immediately would be a place called the Raja Ampat Islands. What I love about the place is that the rainforest comes right down to the sea, and the coral reefs start immediately. That has, marine life, rich marine life, sea fans and corals and things in the foreground, and up through the surface of the water you can see the rainforest up above. The assignment I received from National Geographic magazine to photograph a story on mangroves is actually one of the few assignments that they came to me and offered me an assignment. Most of my projects have been ones that I proposed myself. I think they maybe came to me because I did both underwater photography. I'd already sort of proven myself doing several underwater stories, as well as doing a lot of terrestrial work. But also I think they knew that I had a high tolerance for mud and mosquitoes. It was really a multifaceted story, and it was a lot of fun because I was able to make these different trips to different locations to sort of tell different aspects of the mangrove story, to sort of bring it all together. My goal is to team up with scientists who are going in to, study wildlife in these places, help them document it and sort of showcase it to the world, to bring more attention to these sort of little-known corners of the planet.